All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dialar's Tactics. In this vid, I want to go over Gawain. We're going to do a deep dive into Gawain. You know, he is one of the famous Knights of the Round Table. He is cool looking. And I did get requests to do Gawain. And I know he's got that big freaking long sword. You know, he's cool looking. But initial impressions is he's just so meh. So let's go over the passives first. You can see I've put some skill ups into this man's passives. I tried to make him work. So passive 1. At the start of battle, 100% chance to gain Guardian of May for the rest of the battle as long as the weather is day. Yeah, that's poetry, Dialar. What is Guardian of May? Attack, increase 5%. Defense, increase 5%. Cool. As long as the weather is day. Now, my question is, it says at the start of battle. So if you start the battle and the weather is not day, I'm assuming he just doesn't get it. That's a big caveat. I'm going to say this right now is a lot of Gawain's kit, unfortunately, revolves around the weather being specifically day and or heat, because you see here at the start of battle 100% chance to gain again Guardian of May, increase 5% attack, increase 5% defense if the weather is heat. So if it is day and heat, he's going to get this times 2, so he's going to get plus 10 attack and 10 defense. And at the start of battle, 100% chance to gain hit accuracy 1 for 2 turns. So that does not have a weather caveat. So you are going to get hit accuracy regardless of the weather type. If it's maxed, right? Because obviously it's hit accuracy 50% chance if you don't have this one, right? And you only get it for 1 turn, which is kind of meh, right? It's kind of meh. So is this one important? It sounds important. There's a lot of text, but if the weather's night, then you're screwed, right? Then that it's basically worthless. You get a little bit of hit accuracy. Passive 2. When using skill 3, change the weather to day and heat. Cooldown 8 turns. When maxed, 8 turns. This would have been, what, 15 turns? Because look at here. I got it maxed. Passive cooldown time. Wait. Plus 7. Plus 7. So if I did not have this, would this be 1 turn? Okay, I have to go to the codex because that's just something that we have to clarify right now. We have to clarify that right now. Because that is a huge that can't be right. That can't be right. How do I mitigate this? I don't ever come into the codex. That's chivalries. Oh, here we go. Okay, passives. Can I... Passive. Hero level, hero grade. I don't think I can take away a passive. Hero wake, no. Relic. Nope, can't take away the passives. Okay, well, I guess we can't clarify. Can't clarify that. Well, that sucks. I don't know why I clicked that button. Gawain. Yes. Passive cooldown plus 7. Let me know down in the comment section if you have this as 1. If this is a cooldown of 1 turn. But anyway, it's still mid. Why? Because when using skill 3, change the weather to day and heat. Which he needs, but he needs that at the start of battle to get those buffs. You definitely want those buffs because they probably last the whole battle, I'm assuming. So I don't know about this one. You know, this one, meh, too many conditional conditions. This one, I think that this one, you didn't even want this in there. I guess I could reset him, but anyway, passive number 3. At the start of battle, you know, available use is 1. So he gets this, you know, I guess you can take it up to 2 instances. At the start of battle, immune to debuff and abnormal status. So now if you had this maxed, then you could take him into a wave encounter. So you would get it in wave 1. And would you get it in wave 2? I always thought wave 2 was a separate encounter anyway. I don't know. But immune to debuff and abnormal status, that's good for Arena because he can't be CC'd. You can't debuff him. You can't put a CC on him. And he gets that for 3 turns, and you get it to do this twice when maxed. So, really, that's his real only shining spot out of his passives, in my opinion. Using skill 3 turns day and heat. Well, we really need that at the beginning battle. His kit needs to be adjusted. I definitely think that this should be at the start of battle. Change the weather to heat and day. Right? Yeah. Do that. Cool. Kit works awesome. Okay, let's go look at his relics. So he comes in wind. If you get Gawain, you're going to pull him in wind. And look I got really lucky. I got all the skill ups to go in the ones that you want to do. So let's look at his wind relic first, and then we'll see if the other ones are worth it or not. So I'm going to start it as S3. You really want to do S3 first. It's an AoE. He's going to attack 2 times. Not a huge damage multiplier. 100% independent chance for the last hit. Why does it have to say independent chance? Because it's 100% chance per enemy since it's an AoE. So you got 4 chances. To inflict Burning Sun on an enemy for 1 turn. And then once they have that debuff, the enemy, once they're hit, again, while the weather is day and heat, remove a buff. So he has the ability to strip buffs, but being weather dependent on, say, just day already is enough. To have 2 weather conditions on his whole kit is just absurd. Like, that's what makes him not so great. His S2, again, an AoE 2 times, not a crazy damage multiplier. 60% chance to inflict burn for 1 turn. Cool. So he applies dots. If the weather is day and heat, which he is going to change the weather to day and heat when he does his S3, right? That was his P2. No, that was his P3. Nope, that was his P2. When using skill 3, and you only get to do it to change the weather twice in the whole battle. So you want to kind of do this to apply Burning Sun, his S3, and then, or actually you want to do his S3 because that's going to change the weather to day and heat. And then if he does his S2, that's fine, because if it's day and heat, you have a 50% chance to inflict Scorching Heat for 1 turn, and it's an AoE. So defense decrease 2 on the enemy, right? Because the enemy's going to have the debuff while the weather is day and heat. Again, more day and heat. And remember, he can change the weather to day and heat on his S3, but it's an 8-turn cooldown, which is stupid. And then his S1, attack 1 enemy 3 times. 70% chance to inflict defense decrease, which is still good. So that's his wind relic, right? AoE on his S3, AoE on his S2. You want to do his S3 first, then his S2, which makes it hard to set him to do auto rotation, because he's just going to do S3 until he only has 2 vigor, then he's going to do S2. And by then the weather could be changed, right? If a Morgan gets under 50% and goes, all of a sudden the weather's night and Gawain sucks. So let's look at his frost. So attack all enemies 2 times, kind of the same. In 100% chance to inflict Burning Sun. Is that better? It's exactly the same. Let's look at his fire. Ooh, attack 1 enemy 2 times. That is his S3. 1 enemy 2 times. Okay, so his fire sucks. But I do believe I looked at his kit. His fire does have a better S2. So just based on his S3s, wind and frost are similar. Fire sucks. So we already talked about his S2. It's another AoE. If the weather is day and heat, then he can apply this debuff, which is defense decrease 2, and he can apply a burn. And I'm assuming this is going to be the same, but he's going to apply a chill. No, it's another burn. Okay. But look, it's attack 1 enemy 2 times. inflict burn. If the weather is day and heat, inflict scorching heat. So if you compare just wind and frost, S2s, wind way better because it's an AoE. And then fire, I do believe this is where things get changed up a bit. So it's an AoE. Attack all enemies 3 times. 50% chance to inflict a burn. Oh, this is exactly the same as his wind, pretty much. His S2 is the same as his wind. Yeah, attack all enemies 2 times. Oh, attack all enemies 3 times. So his fire has a better S2. Let's look at the S1. Attack 1 enemy 3 times, defense down. Attack 1 enemy 3 times, defense down. Attack 1 enemy 3 times, defense down. Okay. So wind is just better. Wind is just better. But fire has a better S2. So if you only wanted to run his S2, since it's doing 3 AoEs instead of 2, then you might want to run that. But the whole point, if you don't run his S3, you're just nullifying a passive because his S3 is what turns it to day and heat. So wind is the best. The other ones suck. Do I sound exasperated? It's just he's such a cool character, and they neutered him by putting all of these weather conditions in his kit. So let's talk about his equipment. So nowhere in any of those skill descriptions did we see anything about crit damage up buffs, crit rate buffs, up buffs. So as such, you kind of want to go for like 75% crit rate. So I would recommend you to run a crit rate banner to get more crit rate, to get it closer to 100%. Or you could run 3 crit rate sets. Right? So you got a little bit of tweaking you can do. How you should build him is attack percent neck, crit strike. It's going to have to be crit strike. Earrings, attack speed ring, attack belt, or there's an argument to be made for effect accuracy if you want to land some burns. But that's probably better because really 121 attack, it's not going to give you a whole bunch. So I would actually recommend an effect accuracy belt. And then he's an attacker, so you need some hit accuracy or attack speed, but I think a hit accuracy is probably better. He is going to give himself hit accuracy on regardless of the weather on his P1. So I probably would recommend hit accuracy orb. And then obviously in his substats, you want crit rate first. You want lots and lots of crit rate, and then crit damage, attack speed, or attack percentage, attack speed, attack, effect accuracy. I don't have any effect accuracy on him. I tend to just use his S3 over and over and over again, although you should alternate if you're playing him on manual. So that's his gearing. Keep in mind, if you do have, you could run three crit rate sets. And if you ran 3 crit rate sets, well, that would give you another 17%. But I think you'd probably benefit more from getting the 15% crit strike damage. But you could run 3 crit rate sets with the crit rate earrings, and then run a crit damage or a pierce banner. But I think you could it's probably best you get more, because you could get more crit rate from running the banner, so you could get them closer to 100. Capiche? All right. Well, all right. Let's talk about his chivalries. You see, I don't got nothing into this guy. It shows how much I prioritize him. So C1. All right. Well, that's going to update his P1. Strengthens. Okay. So yes, it's not Knight of May, which is just that 5% attack. It's Guardian, which gives him the defense too. Okay. Defense. He's an attacker that wants defense. Go figure. C2 attack. He's an attacker. He needs it. All right. So does this give him some good stuff? So Haze. What is Haze? Which one's Haze? Which passive is Haze? That looks like his. That's his P2. Oh, so we can make his P2 better. Okay, good, because it needs it. Haze, his P2. So when using skill 3, charges this hero's attack gauge by 30% and gives him damage dealt, just straight multiplier on everything, increase 1 for 1 turn. No cool. Well, there's a big cooldown. Remember that P2, which is haze. That's the 8-turn cooldown ability. So he's really only going to get this 30% increased attack gauge and the buff once every 8 turns. Yay. Yay. C4. Okay. C4 is a lot like Arthur. So his skill 3, which is what you're going to be spamming. More damage. Okay. That's good. That's good. C4 good. Attack, effect, accuracy. Both good. Attack, good. Defense, HP, doesn't matter to his kit. And then his C8. If the target's current HP is 10% or lower, you know how low that is? The fight is already won at 10%. Which, this should be like 30%. Or since this is C8 and it costs so much, 50%. 50%. Or how about, don't make there an HP condition. What is Solar Wind? 100% chance to remove all positive immunities. So all this good stuff. All the immunities and invincibility. He can clear invincibility. And protection. Okay, so just a huge stripper. And then attacks one enemy, damage 20% of target's max HP, which is good against bosses. It should not be 10%. This basically renders it irrelevant and ineffective. Because by the time they're down to 10%, it doesn't matter if they have all these invincibilities. It doesn't matter if they have all those protection debuffs. They're already dead. This should be 50%. This should be 50%, and they should make it so that he turns the weather to day and heat at the start of battle. Because to get those buffs off his P1, you're going to have to go into a battle where it is day and heat. So there are heroes, however, that can change. That's basically Gawain in a nutshell. There are heroes that can change the weather to day, but not heat. So I do believe it's... which one is it? Is it this one right here? No, one of his passives right here. So this is Merlin. Again, cooldown of 8 turns. When using skill 2, while current HP is above 50%, so at the beginning of the battle, change the weather to day. So he's going to change the weather to day, but the only one that's going to make it heat is Gawain's S3. So just being day doesn't help us. Doesn't help us. And that's what's unfortunate about Gawain's kit. So where can we use him? Unfortunately, the only place you're really going to use this guy is here. This is really the only place. Why? Because his kit is so gimped. Unfortunately, he's a bull, so let's do bull's favor. So let's looks like we need some stamina. Well, we need some stamina. Let's go get some stamina. There we go. Well, we got some stamina. Okay. So bull's favor. Right, he's going to get a buff from Arthur, because Arthur gives bull allies. I do believe it's crit rate up, like a big crit rate up. So he's going to get a lot of crit rate, but that's going to fall off after 1 turn. So let's do this. Let's just do 3. Okay, so let's start battle. Okay, let's look at Gawain. So, take it off auto. All right, what do we want to do? Let's try to put brainwash on Morgan, and he didn't land it because I don't have his S2. All right, so here's Gawain. So Gawain doesn't strip any turn meter, anything. He's just damage dealer. So we're gonna change the weather to heat and day with his S3. But first, let's go look at his buffs. So you see, he got the hit accuracy, he got the effect accuracy, and he got blessing, because he gets that at the start of battle. Right? Immune to debuffs and abnormal status. And looks like he did get that. So he got these down here. So the weather is obviously heat and day. Probably. Can I see that? I can't see that up here. Alright. We're just going to assume that it's heat and day because he's got all the buffs. So, but what does he get from Arthur? I think he gets the effect accuracy from Arthur, though. So maybe it isn't. So let's do his S3. Let's see his damage. 22,000. For a Lego on an AoE, that's kind of pitiful. And it is heat and day because they did get the debuff. Oh, there you can see. Look at day and heat. So his S3, it changes the weather, day, and heat. So then no matter what, then he's going to apply those debuffs. Because it's day and heat, then debuffs applied. Right? Now, if you forget what that is again, Burning Sun, now he can strip their buffs. When hit. Or when anybody hits them, they're just going to strip their buffs. Okay, Arthur. Unfortunately, Arthur's C3 is not available, so we're just going to come over here and we're going to hit a Frost unit. Boom, boom, boom. 6,000 pitiful damage. But this is the Gawain fight. Alright. So let's just do a heal. Let's heal Arthur. Cool. Oh, look at that. We got a brainwash. Nice. Frost Tristan. Okay, let's just do a brainwash on... Who's got the most turn meter? Let's give it to Ban. Let's see if we can brainwash Ban. We did. Cool. Ban's going to help us out. Alright, Gawain. So, the weather is day and heat now, right? I can see it up in the top left-hand corner. It's underneath my head. You can't see it, but I can. Now, we're going to do his S2. Why? Attacks all enemies 2 times. If the weather is day and heat, it's only a 50% chance to apply Scorching Heat, which is going to give that defense down on all the enemies. So let's see how many times we can land it. We didn't land it on anybody. He had a 50% chance, but then keep in mind, I only have 8% effect accuracy. So I probably would have been much better off just spamming his S3. Why? Because he doesn't have the accuracy to land his S2. Alright, who's going to hit me hard? Arduin's going to hit me hard. Brainwash that. I was going to use a bad word. That also starts with a B. Okay, Gawain. S3. S3. You see that it is now night. Oh, you can't see it. It's under my head. It is now night and heat. Because we got Morgan below 50% and she went and turned the weather to night. So now, no matter what, we're not going to apply those mechanics that are required. Although, let's see, it shouldn't change the weather to day and heat because it's on an 8-turn cooldown. But let's see. It did not. It is still night. So 8 turns. So dumb. Alright, let's see. Can we apply another brainwash to Banny Boy? No, we didn't. Yeah, whack, whack. Hit us, hit us, hit us. Oh, cool. Brainwash. Killed Tristan for us. Let's finish them off with Gawain, because it's his video. Almost did it. Let's go hit the fairy over there. Dead. Alright. Alrighty. So, that's Gawain. Let's look at this. So, he did... You know, we were doing AoEs the whole time, and there was 4 units up the entire fight. So he did do some okay damage numbers. It's the moral of the story, though, is that it's just unfortunate that such a cool hero is basically gimped by those weather conditions. And tell me in the comment section below if you think I'm wrong. I'm not trying to sound like poo-poo on this character. I wish he was better. Because who do we got for super damage dealers in the Legos? Well, we got Bedivere, we got Iwaret, who's new if you got Iwaret. But this is a Knight of the Round Table. And his kit is built in a way that just nerfs him. Just his own kit nerfs him. So I really hope that the developers can change that, because he'd be a lot cooler if he would like just remove the heat and day mechanics. Remove them. Just remove them altogether. Get rid of them. I hate weather mechanics, especially on his kit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to be negative. I wanted to do the deep dive, and I'm being honest on this character. Cool character, bad kit, or nerfed kit. Self-nerfed. So, what should we do for a word of the day on this guy? Nerf. code word of the day, safe word of the day, word of the day. Put it down in the comment section below. I'll know you made it to the end of this video. Is self-nerf. Self-nerf. That sums up Gawain. He could be doing so much more. Because like this, at the start of battle. But the battle has to be. So what I'm wondering, at the start of battle, is this just go throughout? So, chance to gain Guardian of May for the rest of the battle as long as the weather is day. And then he gets it again if it's heat. So did he get those buffs? Let's go look. Did he get those buffs once he changed the weather? Let's go into a fight where it is. Let's go into a fight where it is not day at the start. And let's see if I change it. If I change the weather using his S3, if it will then change the weather, it should to night, to day and heat. And then if he gets his Guardian of May abilities. Because if that's the case, and then he gets them for the whole fight, then his P1 is okay. I'm not going to finish this fight, but I just want to see, because the weather is actually night and rain. It's night and rain. Okay? So here we go. But because Turin changed it to night. Oh, I'm attacking the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we go. It's going to change the weather to day and heat. First of all, I want to see. So he should get 1. He doesn't. So he doesn't have Blessing of... Or he doesn't have Guardian of May. From when it was day at the beginning. But let's just see. When I change the weather with his S3. Okay. There we go. Now let's go look. Yeah, see, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have his Guardian of May. So you have to take him into a fight where it is already day and heat. Day and heat. He gets 1 Guardian buff for the rest of the battle if it's day, and he gets the other one, the other instance of it, if the weather is heat. That's stupid. That's stupid. Okay, let's go somewhere. What? This has got to be day and heat, right? Let's see. Yeah, day and heat. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull out Soul Day. Let's put in Gawain. Start battle. Okay, we're not going to do this. I just want to use this as a test. So it's day and heat now. I saw the little buff above his head. There you go. So now, Guardian of May, Guardian of May. Now, this is also a burn team. So attack +5, defense +5, and he gets it again. So he gets plus 10% attack, plus 10% defense. Let's... Actually, let's switch him. If we're going to do this, let's just put him on his S2, because that applies a burn when it is day and heat. No heals. Let's see if this is a place where you could use him. Oh, look at that. He didn't apply a burn, because I don't have any effect accuracy on him. So if you really wanted to, even though he's an attacker, there's a burn. Even though he is an attacker. And he's dead. And he's dead. Why is he dead? Because he's wind. No. You don't want to. You don't want to bring him in here. You don't want to bring him in here. His Frost Relic does have a burn on the S2. I don't think that's enough to want to bring in him into a fight that's already so automatic. You'd rather use like Lancelot or Vivian or someone else than him. So, word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is self-nerf. I'm sorry that he sucks. The only place I would use him is I would... Oh, it's just because I would say you want to put Merlin with him, but Merlin's going to turn it to day after he goes, and you're going to miss out on the start of battle buffs. Like, you're going to use him in the favor dungeon. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So, Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. Self-nerf. All the links in the description are good and cool and give you things and take you good places. I will catch you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Till then, cheers, peace. Bye-bye.